Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to episode 5 of Riven. I've just noticed that I've just turned my camera on, that in my haste, because I'm a little bit behind schedule today, I haven't actually turned on my stage lighting. But you know what? It's actually a nice enough day that I think natural lighting just kind of works today. So we'll just run with it, right? I hope you are having a great weekend, right? We're halfway through the weekend now, so it's cozy vibes from here on out, right? Sunday is my rest day. We got CapsGirl90 in the chat, good morning to you. And Palm Trees 44, good morning to you as well. Okay, last time out, we got terribly stuck. Right at the end of last session, right? We got to what I like to call, in my abduction playthrough, I called it, it's the last chance saloon, right? When you just start aimlessly exploring and you hope to find something you didn't see before. And we did find something we didn't see before. And that was this handle here, which I thought was a door handle initially, but it actually moves this bridge up and down. Not terribly useful for us right now because we can't move this bridge up and get to the other side of that platform to make use of it. Not without the elevator working, right? On the other hand, though, this sort of 5-bolted handle does look very, very similar to what we're trying to get into activate the elevator on the other side of this building. So something for us to have a think about anyway. Now that's a good point actually. We haven't, even though it's kind of a little bit of a weird thing to do, we never actually pushed that up and then explored round the other side of the building. So do you know what? Let's put it up. Let's put it into the up position. And then we will do an explore inside this building just to see if this handle actually controls more than just this bridge. Okay. Now we've still got this here. Oh, and I should actually open up my notebook, of course, shouldn't I? Let's get our notebook up. Our notebook is right here. Okay. So this is the same as it's always been. And if we wander around this path here, yeah, this is the same as it always has been. I don't see any handles on this wall, to be fair. Yeah, I don't really see anything similar there. That we've left in the correct position already anyway, and yeah, that's what we're missing. Wolf ULV in the chat. Good morning. Good morning to you. More Riven this morning, absolutely. Now, we did hang on. Is that's the bridge we literally came on? This is what activates that handle, presumably, is it? So if we turn that off, are we going to find that the handle's now stuck? I mean, it's good to... I think we've solved that puzzle, let's say, but it would be good to just confirm that indeed... Yeah. So if you set it into the down position and then turn it on, does it turn on? I presume it will. Ah! Oh, they thought of everything, didn't they? So I have a feeling that moving that up and down doesn't do anything for us until we can access this walkway. And I have a strong suspicion that the way we access that walkway is to take a lift up from here. And that's how we get to the other half of that room. Is it a pixel hunt? I don't know. It's there's a weird kind of scrape on the right hand side of this, isn't there? Like something sort of rotated into position. But okay, right. Well, I tell you what we are going to do, though, for the first thing to do in this session is... We've got one clue from the YouTube comment section, which needs investigating, okay? Because... it's a clue from the YouTube comment section, you know, we've got to investigate that avenue. The other one to think about, though, is that... we realised, just as we kind of came through this door, well, it was as we came across here, we realised what the blue buttons were, yeah? The blue button is what called the train. Now, we've been sort of treating the blue buttons as a bit of a mystery up to this point, right? Because I'd sort of forgotten that the blue button was used to call the train previously. Hey, that's weird. We can turn the train around before we actually go, but it doesn't look like we can go actually anywhere except to go. I'd forgotten that the blue button was what we'd used to originally call this tiny train. Incidentally, tiny train's in the chat. But now that we have remembered that that's what the blue button did, there are two blue buttons that warrant further investigation, let's say. There's a blue button halfway up this path, which may well just call this train, because it's pretty close by to the train. And there's also a blue button inside the giant frog statue. You know, the ominous looking frog statue. So you've got a blue button here, which may well just call the train, because it's fairly close to the train. Then we've got blue button. The other thing to investigate is the comment from the YouTube comment section, which was something along the lines of, you'll kick yourself when you realise what you've missed on Crater Island. Now, Crater Island, I'm assuming, is the third island that we visited. Good morning, Meredith. Good morning. Crater Island, I'm assuming, is the third island we visited. I hope you're having a good weekend, Meredith. Hope work isn't keeping you too busy this weekend. Crater Island, I'm assuming, is the third island, because it's the one that, well, kind of looks like it's in a giant crater, to be honest. Oh, we're not close enough to the angry frog. Bonk. Now. We're going to experiment with this blue button, with this in sort of various... oh no, the blue button stays down there. Oh, the blue button doesn't come with us. Huh. The blue button probably calls this lift that we're in, right? If you leave this up top, but you actually need it down below, the blue button probably calls it down. That's probably all it does. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, because I happen to know from what people have commented that you can get inside the blue frog from a different path, right? Because I think it was, I think it was actually Matthew himself, Matthew van der Vander himself, creator of Taiji, very good puzzle game. Incidentally, check that out. Right, Matthew doesn't give me any kind of kickback for recommending it. I just think it's the best game I've played this year for sure. Or let's say it's the best game that I've played that came out in the last year, let's say, rather. So, yeah, he made something, he said something along the lines of, oh my god, you found that switch. Yeah, I found it coming out of the frog. So yeah, the blue button there probably just calls the elevator that we were missing. So this guy's going to notice me again. So let's go back to Crater Island and see if the other comment that we received this week about, well, what have we missed? Maybe something as big as literally a path, you know? So, we're going to ride this. Meredith says, I'm essentially off till Christmas. Gotta kick something off planet Earth. Oh dear. Well, if it's health concerns, Meredith, I very much wish you a speedy recovery. I hope you get better soon. Okay, now there is a walkway coming out of the back of that building there, isn't there? One thing I really like about this game is that the environment feels very real, right? In a way that many other games don't. Like, I've experienced similar levels of detail in games like The Outer Wilds, for example, where, you know, every time you see like the artificial gravity being in place, like inside your spaceship, for example, there is an anti-gravity crystal in there. Or things like the fact that your ship log remembers things from different time loops is because there's a chunk of statue which is used as a data storage device. And the Harthians have no concept of the fact that that's going to be an effect of using that as a data storage device. It's just a convenient bit of tech for them. And this game has a similar level of attention to detail where the geometry of the islands, and clearly because of the 5-pointed stars and the way everything's kind of arranged, there's this prevailing theme of 5-pointedness and 72-degree angles and things like that. But it is a really striking level of detail in terms of how connected everything is to each other. So the building we just saw on our way up should probably be around here somewhere, but probably on the other side of the mountain. Well, that just leads us back up to the minecart. And we've got a room up there, of course, which we've been to, but we've sort of explored that, and I don't think there's more up there. So what have I missed? Well, it doesn't seem something as obvious as a pathway. I'm not sure. Okay. So this is the fan that we still want to try and stop somehow. Because I believe we'll probably be able to climb through that. I'm not sure that's going to do anything without any bait in it. But in any case, I don't think we're going to break the one key, one lock kind of rule. Like, I don't think there was much in Abduction or in Myst where you use the same tool but in a different way. There is indeed a building over there with a walkway here. How we get there, though? Like, that's the walkway. Didn't mean to step up there. Ah, that's just a pulley, isn't it? Okay. Where do you reckon that walkway starts off at? Like, this is, of course, making a pretty bold assumption that this is even Crater Island, you know? Like, it looked like if you were going to name any of the 3 islands Crater Island, it would probably be this one. I mean, we can turn the wood chipper on, but, like, I don't think that's going to do anything for us, would it? I mean, probably no harm in, like, experimenting with it, I suppose, but... I mean, the gas isn't actually currently connected to it, so it's not actually going to do anything right now. But it's not like we can put any trees into the wood chipper. Unless turning it on at this end does something back on the second island. I'm pretty sure we decided that the only thing that this controlled was the winch that brought the bait up and down. I do not believe it turned the fan off. Yeah, indeed not. So yeah, that just makes that not work. And as far as the wood chipper goes... So it's not a question of, like, turning it on and then taking the minecart back. I mean, you wouldn't want to turn it on and then ride the minecart back here anyway, because this is where you land, obviously. It really does feel, though, that, like, crawling through a duct, like, I can see the walkway, right? You can literally see the walkway right here. Crawling through a duct would be a weird way to get to that walkway, right? Because this isn't a villager's island. This is like one of Gehn's islands. Like the fact that the minecart goes straight into the wood chipper indicates to me that it's probably not villagers sitting around on this island operating this machinery. I don't know, I mean, maybe it is, but... Meredith 94 redeemed. Where the ears. Alrighty. Okie dokie. The ears have turned out to be an incredibly popular addition to this stream. I think this is the 3rd week in a row that this has been redeemed. Maybe I need to set the points value a little bit higher. Oh, Oh no! Now I've accidentally now adjusted my my earpieces. Okay, there we go. Bonk. Oh no, they're not even. Wait a minute. Something like that. Okay. It really does seem like there is not a path in this direction, right? We can't turn left and right here. Okay. This is only turning me, like, fully back around the other way. Except here, where it really does not look like there's a path to go. I'm so close, apparently. What am I missing? I don't get it. Just sort of scanning back and forth, like, is there a thing that I've missed here? It's not a pixel hunt. Okay, well that's good to know. Oh no! Oh, it's two paths as well. It's should have known. That's straight out of the abduction playbook as well. It's straight out of the abduction playbook. Spoiler warning for abduction. Skip 10 seconds if you don't want to hear it. There's literally a hidden path in the back of Farley's house that you can only find by closing the door that you used to enter it. Oh, that's a dirty trick. And you got me twice, Rand. You got me twice on the same thing. I forgive you, Rand. I forgive you. Oh, we're going to have another Zeotrope, presumably. Oh, right, okay. It's going to be through this hole. We need to get through there somehow to open that up. Got it. Oh, there we go. Right. Onwards. What is this we've got here? Well, that sounds like that's controlling the fan, doesn't it? Well, it's controlling a motor of some kind, for sure. That has indeed stopped the fan. And we can go through the duct. Okay, right. We're not going to go through the duct straight away. We're going to go and continue this path first. Oh my god, that's actually quite a nice house. Yeah, if I had a house that looked as nice as that, I'd probably lock it too, to be fair. Who's he locking it from, though? Oh, we're going to crawl through the duct to get in there. Got it. We're missing something here. Here's the walkway that takes us back to the main island. And that allows us to lower the bridge up and down. Lovely. Well, good thing we already solved that other puzzle, isn't it? So up is the natural position for this to be in, and I presume, from what I recall, from looking at it from down below, there is no path upwards here. So, no problem putting it down. Great, so this is the path that we have been on before. Oh, we're going to unlock a shortcut. That would be pretty nice, because there's a wheel over there, isn't there? And we might be able to call the lift as well. Shortcut unlocked. Great. Well, I'm feeling good about our progress this week already. So that's going to make getting back to between the first and third island very fast. However, how is this working then? Oh, there's a button right there. Oh, and you know what? The button down below probably only works if it's not already down below. It's going to be like the blue buttons, isn't it? It's going to be like call the train. Okay, cool. Well, now we've opened that up. But given that we already have a shortcut over there, what does opening this up now actually give us? Sorry. Yeah. Because it gives us a way that we can get back round after we've lifted up the stairs. That's what it gives us. That is what it gives us. Okay, great. We are oh man, we're storming it now. We're storming it. Right, we pull these stairs up and now we can get back round. Okay. Bonk, 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 bonk. And rotate. Yeah, you can make these two doors literally point directly to each other, can't you? Not that way you can't. We're going to need to rotate it what, once, twice, 3 times to get that to go. On the other hand, we could have just walked out the other door and rotated it twice, and then we would have got to the same spot. Never mind. Okay, one more, I think. Oh no. That's not where I wanted to go at all. Okay, never mind. I'm trying to be too clever. I'm trying to be too clever for my own good. Right, let's rotate it twice. Go out the main door, then rotate that twice, and then we're good. Incidentally, topics coming up on the YouTube channel or games coming up on the YouTube channel over the next couple of days. We have got, in case you missed it, our playthrough of Braid has started. So episode 1 of that was last Sunday. Braid is a 2007 game from Jonathan Blow. I believe it's what made Jonathan Blow famous, in fact. Very good puzzle game. Traditional puzzle. It's got levels with puzzles on them. Time manipulation mechanics. Very fun game. Tomorrow, I think, is our first... Yeah, Braid is great. Tomorrow, I believe, is our first episode of Ender Lilies, which is not a puzzle game. That is a Metroidvania. It's very similar to Hollow Knight. If you enjoyed Hollow Knight, that one's definitely worth a look. I've been really enjoying that one. And Tuesday is going to be episode 1 of the Talos Principle, which I have played before, like 7 or 8 years ago or something like that. So that's going to be more of a nostalgia playthrough in the run-up to the Talos Principle 2 coming out later this year. Really looking forward to that. I really enjoyed the Talos Principle first time I played it. Right, what have we got here? Well, that looks incredibly ominous, doesn't it? It's a big squisher. Is it? Okay. Oh. What? Okay, you can't go through this. So what does this do you think? Like, obviously we don't know, like, anything about such a code. But I'm kind of interested to see what that does. It appears to have done nothing. Well, I'm just going to put these back then. And we will come back when we know something about rainbow patterns on a grid. Notice we've got, again, 5x5 motif. We've got 25, holes in each section, let's say, and 25 total sections. So that... Wait a minute, I saw a thing there. That's weird. I wonder why it's letting you turn 90 degrees that way. What's this button going to do? Right, that sounds like that's rotating the room again. Okay. Oh no. That's kind of not what we wanted. 2 should be sufficient to at least get us out of this room. Great. We can go this way because we can go under the under there. Okay. So we've got a machine up there, which we're not 100% sure what it does. But this is okay. I believe one more rotate will enable us to get back round to where we were. We should check out that beachfront property we were looking at earlier. Okay. Whatever the stamping machine is probably has something to do with this thing in the middle of this room, which none of these walkways go to. Tricky one, isn't it? So that's Crater Island then. That one over there is going to be the island with the that's been woodcut. Yeah, because that's the tunnel we come in on. There is something else out of that house. Something else going somewhere else, which we can't quite see from this direction. Yeah, that definitely looks like that's going somewhere, doesn't it? But I only see one set of tracks here. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah, no, there's another island here. Sorry, yeah, no, I'm being dumb. This track, the minecart track, comes out from under the water. Yeah, right. So that's a different set of tracks leading from the same island. So yeah, we're going to check out that house, and it might give us another path to a different island. And up and in. Where are we? We're straight on Gehn's desk, is it? Good thing that wasn't a trapping book, right? So this is 82-213. The latest ink formulation has proven a failure. Even when writing in my most promising books, I obtain only the barest glimmer of a connection. It is frustrating to expend so much effort creating a blank book only to end up destroying it when it doesn't work. I'm reading it slowly because cursive is quite challenging for me. There are days when the lab is uncomfortably warm from the flames of these failed attempts. This is why he's cutting down a forest and throwing it into a wood chipper. He's making books. The further I refine each element, the formulations of the inks and papers, the physical dimensions of the books, the more I realise that the list of potential combinations is nearly infinite. It is during moments like this that I despair. Without access to Denis, my long-term goals may never be accomplished. Nevertheless, there are avenues of research which remain to be explored. I am discontinuing regular observations of the stars beneath the fissure. Although I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the star field and have proven that their paths are cyclical, without proper instrumentation, it is pointless to continue. My general theory concerning the nature of the fissure has remained unaltered since it first appeared. It seems that the fabric of this age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete but overlapping spaces, much like a link, but the apparent physical contradictions surrounding this structure defy logical reasons. The great column of wind that was formed when the fissure first appeared suggests a vacuum, as one might expect in space, yet my early experimentations revealed the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris and Catherine threw themselves into the void is further evidence that it might be safe to travel, but without knowing its true nature I cannot take the risk myself. It is also difficult to say what would happen if I were to reopen it after so long, but it is likely that the results would be catastrophic given the changes that have occurred in this age since that time. If you think this cursive is bad, just you wait. Oh, can't wait. I am a big fan of... I have a feeling... what game was it that I played recently that actually had like an accessibility mode for the writing? I think it might have been Forgotten City. You can read it in cursive, or you can have it just written out in block caps, and you sacrifice the immersion to improve readability. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed 83.210. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of this system. I believe the construction to have been true to the Denis designs of my memory, another example of the superiority of the Denis technology. It's ironic that Atris and Catherine unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. We've got to open the hatch first, though. This is what I've been calling like the balloon thing, right? We've got to open that hatch first. As with many of my views over the years, my thoughts regarding the origin of the fissure have changed. I have recently begun to wonder whether it was actually an unexpected byproduct of the changes Catherine and Atris wrote into the age during their escape. Certainly by casting their linking book into the void, they trapped me here quite effectively. But I do not believe that Atris intended the book to be lost in this manner. Much better to destroy it than to risk the possibility of it falling into unknown hands. Also, had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, They would surely have thought that the vacuum it created would eventually consume the atmosphere of this planet, a fate which Catherine undoubtedly would have deemed unacceptable for her home world. Oh. If I had not been there to supervise the construction of the seal, this is most certainly what would have happened, for the villagers were too frightened to even approach the vortex without my urging. I hold on to the belief that it was an unintended consequence of their writing for another reason as well. I prefer to think that my son had meant for this age to be merely a prison for me rather than a death sentence. Aha. Steam vent caps completed. Right, okay, no, this power is steam power, not vacuum power. Although, interestingly enough, I mean, like, he's talking about sealing a fissure, which is, exposing the atmosphere to vacuum. Like, you could use that as quite an incredible source of power as well. For a while, until the atmosphere ran out, of course, but... The construction of the images, these presumably will be the zeotropes that we've seen, has proceeded without fault. It is interesting to see how easily I've been able to adapt the Denis technology to mimic that of the Ahmad. In some ways, the similarities between the two cultures was striking. No, okay, the images are the hologram generators. I wonder if perhaps there'd been communication or commerce between the two cultures in earlier times. Maybe Keter's people were even descendants of the Denis. Pleases me to think so. Note, it's possible that if I were somehow able to apply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, I could suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. It is doubtful that the geothermal cap generator could provide such an enormous surge. Perhaps I could adapt the something marbles. The fire marbles? Yeah, this is an F, right? Because that's an F, facilitate. Fire marbles. I've been cataloguing fire marbles, yep, thanks for the confirmation. I've been cataloguing the natural elements of this age for nearly 30 years now, yet still I continue to find evidence of the Denis' preoccupation with 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 had a special significance to the Denis society, from the ancient heraldic elements of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners. It was ubiquitous. Its presence here is obviously a direct reflection of the minds that designed the texts that I used to compose this age. Further proof that through their art, the Denis masters were indeed creating the marvellous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely building links to pre-existing worlds. While most of my constructions have been based on Denis designs, I see now that the ones that I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, the most perfect, and I believe the most structurally sound. Alright. I am still attempting to determine how the Denis colour symbology reflects this superior design principle, although superficially it is based on a 6-colour system. Yeah. I am convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to 5. I will continue to investigate, and then we have what is probably a clue. So I'm going to take a screen grab of that and add it to the notebook. I've finally made a breakthrough. I have succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power. Oh, the machine at the top of the dome that we don't know what it is, those are the marbles. And they're all fire marbles, despite the fact they're all different colours. Okay. The fire marbles to generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. I have linked to a new world. It is a harsh and desolate age, but is nonetheless well suited for my purpose, and so I have designated it my... Or what number is that? That is a line. That is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's a 9 with an 8 next to it. 98. But then there's an RD. Okay. We'll go with it. It's fine. By studying it closely, I believe we'll eventually be able to create a more appropriate age for us to resettle on. For now, I will build an office and set up my living quarters there in order that I may conduct my experiments safely and without distraction. Great. And we've got some diagrams and some stuff. Oh man, this book is long. I must admit that I am proud of my work. To think that in such primitive conditions I have accomplished in 29 years what it took the original Denis centuries to achieve. Yeah, but you kind of know what you're trying to achieve. They were working from their own imagination. Note, repair outerwear for work... Note, repair outerwear for work on this world. The goggles may need to be redesigned altogether. And then we've got, I have begun construction on a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on 98. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each island according to my exact specifications, and installation of the domes is underway. So the domes teleport you to another age. And there's a dome on every island, and that is what the numbers are related to. Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start, I'm afraid, but the pace has picked up considerably since then, and I anticipate no further delays. I'm looking forward to finally having a civilized mode of transportation. So the fire marbles in the main dome give the power to the smaller domes on the 5 islands, and those teleport you to the 98. And these symbols, who knows what they mean, but I have a picture of that already, and it's in the same order, question mark. It is not quite, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this as well. I mean, I don't want to take a screenshot of like the whole book, but certainly pages that I think I'm going to want to refer back to later, definitely yes. Due to the rebels' continued disturbances, I've decided to install coded access to all of the domes, and he's used the same code for all of them. Very handy, thank you. And if we do have a quick look at what I am noting down. So I've noted down 3 things so far. If we were to look at our pages here, that is, they're turned on their side. But if we go back and have a look, that is the number 5. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, wait, hang on. Wait, no, 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 no. It's number 1. Right. That is a 1. That is a... Okay, circle side, circle down with a thing, and circle... maybe this is on its side, actually? If it's on its side, that's a 5. Circle side, circle down with a line. So circle side, that's fine. Oh, circle down is 10. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Circle side is 2. Circle down is 10. 2, 10. Down with a line through it. Well, here's the thing, right? Every time this repeats, but with what your base number includes. So, circle down with a line through it. Oh! Oh, okay, no, I see the pattern here. Yeah, that's fine, right? Okay. Let me take this, and we're gonna draw it out longhand here, yeah. So I'll take a copy here, but let's literally draw out this numbering system, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5. Bonk, bonk. And then what you're doing is you take this next one, but you turn it 90 degrees. And then you take this next one, and you turn it 90 degrees. And then you take this next one, and you turn it 90 degrees. Do you see? So then this last one would be like this up here. And that's going to get us all the numbers up to 25. So, so coming back here then, so that's 10, that'll be 11, and this one here is 0 to 4, 9, 10, 15, that's 16. Okay, cool. Back to the book. I caught one of my assistants looking over this journal today. I'm glad I've chosen to write it in a language that they cannot decipher. Note, discuss security with each guild master. No problems expected from the maintainers, education and surveyors. Question the bookmakers and builders more closely. Today I heard several more reports of spirit sightings by some of the villagers. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels on the Black Moiety, as the villagers of obstinately insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics and have renewed their campaign to intimidate the villagers into joining them, playing upon their shared superstitions. The villagers are certainly susceptible to this form of coercion, especially given of late the rebels' increasing acts of vandalism and theft. The Yatram traps have been steadily fruitful this year. Now, our resident lore expert in the YouTube comment section, I believe, told us that the Yatram are the frogs that we trapped in one of the traps. Apparently, the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are experiencing a similarly generous harvest. No shortage of poison for their darts this season. Such morbid issues aside, the sudden availability has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, one that is smoother than any of the others from recent years. What a mad lad. Okay. Poison darts. That means the person who killed the guard right at the start of the game and stole our book is probably one of the rebels then. I mean, we kind of already assumed that anyway. But yeah. Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. Its composition contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears they have access to resource of which I'm unaware. Perhaps a mine or an uncharted island. And that's one of the knives. Note, most of the knives have been found on the south side of the village. This is the same area in which there have been reports of people mysteriously disappearing. I think a closer inspection of the area is warranted. Unfortunately, we don't have a compass, so we don't know which side the south side of the village actually is, unfortunately. The fact that they leave these distinctive knives as a sign of their presence concerns me. They're growing more bold and seem no longer fear discovery of their hideout. The latest measurements indicate that the recent trend has continued. The movement of the islands has slowed tremendously. My previous estimates predicted a total collapse in approximately 3 months, but with the new figures, I am uncertain. I have nearly finished writing the 99th age, and I have every faith that it will indeed be a safe place for us to relocate to. Yet, it would be helpful to know what has caused the halt in the age's breakup. It is possible that it's stable after all. Now, interestingly enough, we've just actually worked out that the numbers 1 to 25 are probably written actually like this in a grid pattern. That means that Gehn here is writing 98th and 99th using Roman numbers but translated back to Riven numbers, which is curious. But then he's written this whole book in code. Like, his code being English, I guess, or whatever language we are supposed to be canonically reading this in. I have every faith that it will indeed be a safe place to us to relocate to, yet it would be helpful to know what has caused the halt in this age's breakup. Is it possible that it's stable after all? If so, I must discover how this age differs from my less successful attempts. Now, we know from Atris Journal that Atris is live editing this world. And the reason it stopped breaking up so quickly is because Atris is literally working around the clock making edits to the Riven book. My examinations of the 98th age have thus far proven inconclusive. Or perhaps someone is repairing the damage to the 5th age. If so, it would certainly be Atris's doing. I have reluctantly decided to abandon my experiments into the behaviours of the water of this age, as there are more pressing matters for which I must now concentrate, leaving me little time for such speculative research. For future reference, however, my investigations up to this point have revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a life form that resides in it, specifically the type of bacteria. I am imagining a a motile, unicellular organism, but one with structures capable of holding bits of water whose combined effect via surface tension or a stronger force cause the composite body of water to move in response to heat. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat, for example a period of extended boiling, seems to kill the bacteria, which would explain its dramatic aversion to heat sources. Unfortunately, these theories are still not fully tested, and I remain ignorant both of its deeper nature and to its possible uses. So, that's very interesting. Okay, so probably at some point in the game we're going to be using heat somehow to create like a water corridor or something like that. Oh no, wait, hang on. Is this not how his underwater minecart system works? Because he has a tunnel which goes through the water. An exciting development. Last night, a squad of maintainers stumbled across a lone rebel scout and obtained for him a most incredible device. It is a crystal that somehow powers these flawed linking books, as my own system does, but with an obvious advantage. It is small and weighs only a few pounds, making it completely portable. Catherine must have fabricated the device before I captured her, obviously with an explicit Denis schematic she must have brought with her to this age. If only I had access to such a document all these years. Regardless, I can now concentrate solely on the writing of ages and need no longer worry about building elaborate power supplies for each new book I write. This is a sobering reminder, however, that I must continue to seek an avenue to Denis. Regaining access to the resources there may be critical to the completion of my mission. And that is the end of that book. Okay. Wow, a lot in there to digest. Okay. We have a letter here. Last week, while monitoring the situation of the villagers from the scope of my survey room, is that the tall tower inside the frog, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating, but anchored near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently and quite mysteriously been replaced with a new one overnight. I have long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the villagers' island, but have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I will send surveys to catalogue the others. Swim out that appeared to be floating near the entrance of the bay. That's could be the missing number one. It could be the missing number one that we've been looking for. Ah, man, you know, game. Slow down. You're hitting me with the clues thick and fast right here. We've got another desk over there to look at. We've got a big thing in the middle of the room. We've got 2 exits. We've got a Yatum trap. A little device here. Don't know if any of this is clickable. Ooh. Little eggs. What is this? Ah. This is a little experiment in the fact that the water wants to be away from the heat source. Oh, isn't that interesting? Huh. I mean, very useful property. No, only the top drawer is openable. Doesn't look like any of these can be moved, though. Okay. So that is just a boiler, is it? Wait. Okay, we've unlocked the door. Good. And we have another different path that we can now wander out of. And this is going to take us to somewhere else, which is new. Oh, it's a tiny train. Yeah. Tiny trains in the chat. Let's go. We've got a new area to explore. So this is going to be island number 4. Okay, interesting. For the first time it appears we can get out of a train either side? Can we? How do you get out? Well, you can rotate the train round, of course, but if we get in and we rotate the train round, can we get out the other side of the train? Because there's only one door to the train. But that shouldn't really stop us being able to get out of it, right? There we go. Oh. So the door insists on closing before you can turn away from it. Fine. So what have we got in here? Oh, this is water in here. Okay. I mean, it's only the second most ominous elevator ride we've taken so far this game. Let's bloody go. Looks absolutely secure, you know. I would still rank the... well, actually, do you know what? I would probably rank the sitting in the spider chair as probably the most I would never do that in real life. I would say probably sitting on the chair literally made of skulls as it catapults you up into the air. Probably the second most I would never do that in real life. So I'm going to say this is probably only the third most ominous thing that we've thrown ourselves into. I tell you what, Gehn really does love just the absolute horror aesthetic, doesn't he? Whoa, hang on. We've got a person here running off to the side. You would 100% rather do the bone throne. Okay. What is this? You can't run off with my tiny train. Looks like they did though. But they did run off with my tiny train. That's got to be a different train though, right? Because we've just taken an elevator downwards. It's got to be a different train. Is this maybe going to send us like straight to a fifth island? Train's coming back. Yeah, this is a different train, because there is a door here. So this train goes somewhere else. Well, we're not interested in going somewhere else straight away. I kind of want to explore this island first. We're underwater. Wait, how can we be underwater? There's literally sky here. What? Oh, how are we ranking this chair? This is not quite as ominous as the Bone Throne. Maybe fourth. You can be fourth. What do we got here? Button? Rank your Riven chairs from best to worst. You're a sucker for an elaborate chair. Oh, what is this? What is this? Is this somewhere back in the village? Or is that Catherine? We don't actually know what Catherine looks like. I'm hoping that she's going to make herself apparent to us when the time comes. Ah. What have we got here? Well. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. According to that. Right? It is based on a 6-colour system, convinced these to have deeper connection to the 5. hard not to go for that one first, right? Okay. We can pull it. There's yellow and orange. Well, the red light's a little bit different because that's a big old fish. That sounds a lot like sound number 5 to me. I'll take a picture of you. Okay. So that's the red one, I guess. And what have you got here? Nothing. So blue, green, interesting. Interesting. Oh, can you only do this one way round? Oh no! What's it doing? Stop! So if I go back to this notebook here, that's green. We have red, orange. No, wait, hang on. I think I'm doing this the wrong way around. Get rid of that. So that's green. That's yellow. That's orange. So that's yellow, orange. Pretty sure that's red. That's blue. And this, which should be purple, is actually nothing. Yeah? So red is going to make the fish come back again. Sounds a lot like sound number 5, I think. Kind of nothing. But is that because the light has burnt out or something? Right, because the rest of these have got clear pylons that they're moving between. Yeah. Pylon, pylon. That's red. But this one looks like it's kind of been busted up. So maybe that's not nothing. Maybe it's just... the light is broken. Hard to say. Okay, so we're going to need to make a decision on whether we go up the elevator and look at the other path on this island, or whether we go in that tiny train to the next island. I think we're going to explore this island a little bit more first. That, however, is going to be next week. We are out of time for this week, but what a session it's been. Like, I've got more clues in my notebook now that I know what to do with, right? We can open domes, which probably isn't going to do very much until we have power. We have heard about these fire marbles, which are going to be at the top of this big dome. It's going to be something to do with decoding the meaning behind the colours of the marbles. But yeah, the little domes are going to take you to other locations. We've got another animal for our animal puzzle. Yeah. And we've got 2 new avenues to explore, 2 new islands to explore. So overall, very pleased with progress today. I think we had a great session. Definitely do not miss next week, because we're going to have plenty to do. If you are watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching. Considering hitting that like button would be great. And I will see you guys next time. Bye for now. For those of us staying on Twitch, let's have a look and see who is online. And usually, Cozy is online.